Amen.
Amen. Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Sorry we started off a bit late this morning. We asked God for grace. Keep the time much better. This morning, we're looking at a question. I want us to reflect on this question. Are you a righteous man or woman in this generation? If we search through the scriptures, Jesus Christ asked a lot of questions in the Bible, and it was part of the ways and techniques that he used to get people to start to think. As a Christian, we are meant to think. We are supposed to observe things and question them. But today I'm throwing one question, which I want us to reflect on. Are you a righteous man or woman in this generation? I'll start by telling you a short story. There was this man of God, this rabbi, this teacher, many years ago, so long ago that the only form of light they had was candle. And for you to have candle, it means you're a very wealthy person. This is how far back it was. And the man traveled to a new town. He didn't know his way around, but he was looking for maybe a place to sleep, a place to ask questions. But he arrived at this village very late. And when he got there, he looked around and saw from afar, he saw one house with lights, which means that house had a candle burning. So he made his way there and he knocked on the door. Apparently the house belonged to a shoemaker. So he knocked the door and the shoemaker opened the door and said, "Yes, can I help you, sir?" He said, "I saw light and that's why I came." And he said, so then the rabbi asked him, "So what are you doing up so late, burning your candle?" And the shoemaker replied and said, "I'm a shoemaker, and as long as the candle is still lit, there's still enough time to make some repairs." And the rabbi said, "Yes, indeed. As long as we still have breath in our nostrils, as long as we're still alive, there's still time to change." I start us by this because when the word of God comes, it comes to help us renew our minds. But what does that mean? Do we read the Bible as a textbook and just go? Do we just think that the way we interact with people is outside what the Word of God says? Or maybe perhaps the only time we're supposed to be holy is on Sunday. We come looking sober, carefully walking around, greet people, brother, sister, bless you. But when you get out of the building, then we start to show our character. Is that what the Bible says? Is that what it means to be righteous? I looked at the English word righteous, and it reads that morally right or justifiable, feeling of righteous indignation about pay and condition. And some synonyms were good, virtuous, upright, upstanding, decent, worthy, ethical, principled, moral, high-minded, law-abiding, just, honest, innocent, faultless, honorable, blameless, guiltless, irreproachable, sinless, uncorrupted, anti-corruption, saintly, angelic, pure, noble, noble-minded, pious, God-fearing. So I ask you, are we righteous? Remember, we're asking ourselves a question. We're stirring up questions even within us. You know, the Hebrew word righteous, a righteous man, it's actually pronounced as tzaddik. It's spelled T-Z-A-D-D-I-Q. Some spell it as T-Z-A-D-D-I-Q. It comes from 3-letter words in Hebrew. That's the Sagi, the Dalet, and the Kor. They make up that word. Each letter in itself will take us such a long time to dive into it, so I won't go there because of time. Because today I would like us to just stir up certain questions in our hearts, and then we'll probably pray before we leave. There's a famous scripture in Habakkuk, as Christians, as Christianese, we quote it a lot. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, the proud in soul is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. The original transliteration of that text actually says, "Behold, as for the proud one, his soul is not right within him, but the righteous will live by his faith." You know, the Hebrew is quite interesting, and I had to go back to look for the original context of this scripture. Because most times we quote scriptures, but we don't understand the meaning. And sometimes, because the English language is a poor language, some of the meaning is actually even lost. I can give a typical example. Somebody's name, maybe one of us, maybe Chibike or B, or like that. You know, the meaning of your name is so rich in your language that sometimes you have to use a whole sentence before you translate it to English. Now that's what I'm talking about. So, that word, faith, in Hebrew is called emunah. But what does emunah mean? Emunah is actually the root word, which is the same as amen. When we say a prayer, and I say a prayer now, I expect all of you to answer amen, meaning that you are in agreement with the prayer I pray. So ideally, when I pray, I can't answer amen for myself. I need God to answer amen, because it's God that needs to say amen to the prayer that we pray. That means He agrees with us. In the Old King James, Jesus Christ was the only person that before He starts to speak, He actually says amen, amen. Amen, another translation for it is like verily, verily. Certainly, certainly. So Jesus Christ, before He actually starts to speak, He says amen, amen. Now, I'm going somewhere. I'm building the spirit. So we see that the Sadiq lives by faith. He lives by emunah. The righteous person lives by his faith. This is because he trusts God and lives by faith. If you want to know a righteous person, view his life and see the way he lives. So if somebody at our workplace, in our school, in our business, in our community, at home, wants to know if we're righteous, if they observe our lives, will it show that we're not God? Will it show that we believe in God? It's not by carrying a very big Bible in your bag. It's not by maybe when you get to work, you say, oh, bless you. Bless you. No. Without opening your mouth to speak. Just by people observing your character. By people observing the way you relate. By people observing the way you conduct yourself. By people observing the way you dress. By the way people observe, even the way when people annoy you, how you react to them. Are you righteous? Are we righteous? What does it mean to be righteous? The righteousness actually comes from the way we do things. For righteousness is not in our own righteousness. Righteousness is in God's standard. So it's in God's own righteousness, God's own standard. That's where we can measure. That's our yardstick. If not, somebody to someone, he can say, oh, in his village where he comes from, it's okay to do certain things. It's okay for him to jump on somebody and just beat the person. It's a show of real deep love. Is that standard? Is that what God says? So the righteousness is based and founded on Christ. A very good example of a righteous person is Abraham. In Genesis 12:1, it says, now, Genesis 12:1, it says, now the Lord said to Abraham, get out of your country, from your family and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. Abraham was 70 years old. 70-year-old man, his father was in other terms, a babalawo. He used to mold idols. And yet, he obeyed God. He left, he was obedient. He was not even sure where God was actually taking him to. But he obeyed and he followed. If I ask this question, how many of us will say, oh, conversations we've had during arguments. Oh, that is how I am in my house. Leave me alone. I can't change for anything. Does that ring a bell? Does that ring a bell? So you see, sometimes we say these things. Oh, this is the way I was. This is the way I am. My father and mother were like this. And then, here we see a 70-year-old man. All he knew. Do you know how hard it is for somebody, an elderly person, even just when he puts his toothbrush, for him to change it is problem. And this 70-year-old man, God said, come. He didn't even tell him where he was going. But he obeyed. But if you now read from chapter 11 to 15, thereabout, we see how God took him on a journey that he will now get to start to know this God, to start to build up on faith. So it's not something that happened, boom. No. It was something I said to you, and it was accounted to him as righteous. But it's interesting. Let's keep going. In Hebrews 11:8, it says, Hebrews 11:8, it says, by faith Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to the place which he would receive as an inheritance. And he went out not knowing where he was going. In Acts 7:2-3, it says, and he said, brethren and fathers, listen, the glory of God appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Haran, and said to him, get out of your country and from your relatives, and come to a land that I will show you. Sometimes a lot of us are afraid of change, because we're used to people around us. No, I'm comfortable in this area, and God says, no, stand up my daughter, stand up my son, leave this place. I want you to pack up from here. These friends, I want you to cut off from these friends. And then we say, no, we're used to this, we're used to this. And God is saying, no, my son, no, my daughter. Cut off from this person. What is this nature of a righteous person? What is this character? What is the character of a righteous person? How do we define this thing? You see, the Bible is there for us to observe these stories of these men and women. It's this word that when we have them in our hearts, that when the Holy Spirit comes and I face this situation, he comes and says, oh my daughter, do you remember David? That thing in the Bible that happened to David like this, this is the kind of situation we are in now. So you see what David did, just what he did. So the question I ask you, how much of those stories do you have inside of you? Because if it's just one or two stories, then there might be a problem. Then God will not have to find an alternative. The alternative will be to probably bring a brother or sister that is truly following him, so that you can observe his life and say, oh, see how that brother, that sister did. So in other words, it means that for those of us that have the word of God in us, we are probably, or maybe the only Bible that some other people may ever read. So the question is, we profess that we are followers of Christ, disciples of Christ. Are we actually practicing our faith? Are we righteous in our daily dealings? Are we righteous in the way we are living? Can people see us and see our Messiah in us? I would like to show us something very quickly. I need a fast reader. Can someone quickly read Genesis 18, 1 to 15? A fast reader. Genesis 18, 1 to 15.
The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw three men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the tent of his tent, from the entrance of his tent, to meet them, and bowed low to the ground. He said, if I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat, so you can be refreshed, and then go on your way, now that you have come to yourself. Very well, they answered, do as you say. So Abraham hurried into the tent of Sarah. Quick, he said, get 3 shears of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread. Then he ran to the herd and selected the choice tender calf, and gave it to a servant and hurried to prepare it. He then bought some curds and milk, and the calf that had been prepared, and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. Where is your wife, Sarah? They asked him. There in the tent, he said. Then one of them said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son. Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, after I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now Then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child when I'm at home? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I'll return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, I did not know. But he said, yes, you did not. Amen.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Do you remember that Abraham was very wealthy? Do you remember that there was a portion of the Bible that talked about when his cousin was in trouble, he took over 300 men from his own household? This same Abraham had visitors. He got up himself to go and carry an animal to kill. And he was the one that actually prepared the meal. This Abraham. Now ask ourselves, in this age and time, with little money and little wealth that we have, especially maybe probably when we're back home in Nigeria, with house helps and everybody, we'll cross our legs. How do we receive visitors? How do we show this loving kindness, see humility? He could have sent any servant to do it. But see the nature of him. See the nature, the righteous nature of him, the humble nature in him. Do you know that when these people were visiting, he didn't know at that point that they were angels, or was a messenger of God, or was God himself? He didn't know. But this was his character. He just saw, see, the Bible records in history that Abraham loved God so much that he created 4 doors from the north, the south, the east, the west of his house, to 4 gates. So if you're traveling and perhaps you're journeying that way, he will invite you in. He doesn't want to know your name. He will feed you for 3 days, take care of you, so that he will just get an opportunity to tell you about his God. This was the history written about Abraham. He didn't even know he was actually entertaining an angel or God. He just saw people, opportunity, he jumped up, rushed, greet them, no, please, don't pass like this, please. You must be more risky of it. It means you've been traveling such a long time. Brought water to wash their feet, went rush to get goat, kill it, and to feed them. Do you know that this nature of Abraham was so obvious that even his cousin, Lot, copied him? That when the angels went to Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot saw the angels and he rushed to go and entertain them and bring them home. That was how he got saved. It was that righteous nature, and it didn't matter because Lot was still in Sodom and Gomorrah, the sinful place. But that nature was still embedded in him, that he didn't miss his blessing. So I ask you today, because I'm asking all of us, including myself, are we righteous? Are we righteous only when we're in church? Are we friendly? How do you treat that house girl at home? Or that driver? Stupid girl, stupid boy. Come on, bring that later. Is that not how we talk? Are we righteous? Sometimes we harden our hearts so much that no, for the fact that I'm doing the person a favor. Are you righteous? God reduced himself to help us, to save us, to serve us. If Messiah King can reduce himself, then who are you? What money do you have? Can you, all the money you have, can you buy a place in heaven? So what are you? Abraham, very wealthy, he still rushed to do the cooking himself. Some of us were so proud and pompous, so proud that the thickness of it's so heavy that, I mean, if you look at the way we carry ourselves, the way we speak, the way we conduct ourselves, and yet we profess that we're Christians. Is that what God wants from us? Do we just hear the word of God and it doesn't mean anything to us anymore? Somebody should annoy us at work or in our workplace. How do we deal with that? How do we handle that? Will we act in a way that is not righteous? Okay, let me give another example. Isaac's wife, Rebecca. When the servant went to find his wife, what did he see? He prayed. He said, Lord, if I ask any of these ladies for a drink of water, let her on her own offer water to my camels. And this guy didn't carry 1 camel. He carried 10 camels. 1 camel. Do you know how much water 1 camel can drink? Do you imagine how many times that girl would have had to go into that well, draw the water? I don't know if you've used the well before. I have used the well before when I was in Mina. You will throw the bucket, you throw, sometimes you don't get it, you bring it back up, you throw it again, you will now try and fetch water. And she will have to go one camel, second camel, 10 camels. And ask ourselves this question. For those of us that might not be married yet, how patient are we? What's our character? We're believing God for the life partner or that special person. But what's your nature? See the character of Rebecca. She was a wife. Do you know the funny thing is that when the Bible actually talks about he who finds a wife, finds a good thing, the Bible doesn't use the word woman. The Bible says a wife. Meaning the wife is a wife before she actually walks down the altar. So the question is, are you a wife or are you a babe? As the world might sound threatening. So like chick, you do your nails, you can't help your mother in the kitchen. Or you're a guy because you're educated, you have a master's, you can't even help your dad. You know, back home, when we travel home for my mom's sister's house, everybody wake up in the morning, everybody has what you have to do. So we're washing the cars, so we're going to feed the goats, the chickens, the pork, and she used to rear pigs. Some will go and do that. Some will be cleaning downstairs, some will be cleaning upstairs, some will be cooking. Even boys cook. We must cook. All the guys in my family will all cook. All the guys must cook. So we take turns. So we take turns to wash plates, turns to cook, turns to do everything. Everybody must do something. Every morning. That's how we're brought up. But today, I remember when I was in Mina, some friends came to my house one day and they said, one of the ladies, one of the girls, she said, oh, I'm hungry. So I showed her, I said, there's quicker oats, take it, go and bake. No joke, I missed this girl for 1 hour. I had to go and meet her in the kitchen. It's all well. I saw her like this. I said, what's the problem? She said, I don't know what to do. She had emptied a whole can of oats. You know, it's one thing for to not know. It's another thing to actually go and ask someone, please, I don't know. Some people are so proud to even say, I don't know. Some people take time to even learn how to cook. Some don't know how to do anything. Is that what God wants for us? See Abraham, he went to cook that food himself. Abraham, are you righteous? Are we righteous? How many husbands will treat your wife righteously when you need to be nice to your wife? Carry the load that she's carrying, help her. Or you say, I'm the man of the house. She's the wife. She can get her do it. Like she's your slave. Or how many wives? Your husband will eat, you go cross his leg, you can't even help him carry the plate to the kitchen. Are you righteous? You say when you see the lives of women power, what a man can do, a woman can do more. Are you righteous? I've already talked about the young ladies. I've talked about the young men also, alright? My pastor talked about the difference between a boy and a man. Many boys are trying to get married these days. You don't understand the difference between a boy and a man. You think it's because you have a goatee like mine that makes you a man. No. When they brought Rebecca, Isaac was meditating. That's what they met him doing, he was meditating. What relationship do you have with God? How does all the words you hear define who you are? You're looking for that special person to work on yourself. The righteousness is inbuilt in us. The word of God says that it was God that affirmed that Abraham was righteous, not that Abraham said I was righteous. So if God is to ask and say, oh, that my son, that my daughter is righteous, will God say that you're righteous? Will God say that she's a righteous person? In everything we do, we need to ask ourselves one question. How are they doing this in the kingdom of God? How do they dress in the kingdom of God? Because we pray, let your will be done in heaven as on earth as it is in heaven. How do they dress in heaven? How do they eat in heaven? How do they talk in heaven? As I'm rounding up, if I ask us to quote John 3:16, can anyone quote that for us?
For God so loved the world that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
So we use that scripture to go and minister. And we say that if you don't believe, the only way to heaven is through, righteousness. So okay, we also say that if we don't go through the Son, we can't go to the Father. So if you don't believe in Jesus, but the word actually says, what that thing actually means is, that word is Jesus. But Jesus is the word. The word is the Bible. So for anyone to get to heaven, you need the Bible. You need that word of God. That word became life. He says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Him. What is that? It is the word of God. So the question is, that word of God that we're using to live, I have some scriptures and references I had over the way, the truth, the life to show you, but we don't have time because we need to pray for ourselves today. So, but I need us to reflect on that as we question ourselves, our hearts. Are we righteous? I remember the story we started with. So far you still have breath in your nostrils, there's still time to change. You know those things that you need to change? You know those characteristics we have that do not reflect and point people back to our Messiah? What is it that you want to change, that you want God to help you deal with? Can we stand up and pray?